How's it going, everyone? Sorry about that. Happy Wednesday. Welcome in, y'all. I am joined by John, Mr. Lee, and we are joined by Mr. Peter, who is the co-founder of tonight's bottle. We have a very special one tonight, one that I'm really looking forward to. When Lee told me that we can get a barrel of this for the program, I was very, very happy. This is a distillery that is on a hot run, I should say, this year. So, gentlemen, it's good to see you guys. I hope you're all having a great start to the week. And I'm excited to be here.
Good to be here, man.
I've been frozen in for like 5 days, so I'm ready for more whiskey.
Absolutely. This storm was pretty nuts. I'm not gonna lie. I've had my fair share of bourbon so far too, but I've been waiting on this one, no doubt.
I was swimming today outside in Vegas, so
how dare you? How dare you, sir?
What is the temperature there? What is it today?
You know, it just depends. Today was like in the low 50s outside today. I mean, it'll get down to like the 30s. People think it's always hot here, which it isn't. But it's not as cold as, you know, the Midwest and Northeast. I'm from New Jersey, so it gets pretty cold there. My family's very cold and very cranky.
Okay.
It was 11 below this morning when I took the dog out.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we haven't been able to bottle in Lexington. The gate's been frozen shut to the bottling facility.
Oh man.
I think it's getting open tomorrow. So literally, like, just no whiskey is coming.
Perfect weather. At least they won't be bothered. You know that. So that's good.
Hey, and speaking of weather too, Lee and I, we don't look. We're drinking out of our samples, our original sample bottles. John, I think John and Pete, y'all might be the only ones with the bottles, right? The only ones that got bottles because of the weather. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, and everybody in the program. So we did confirm everyone in the program got their bottles.
Yes.
It just so happens that I guess the delivery people don't like us. So next time.
But that's true. They emailed me about that.
Yeah, they were like, God, these guys, screw them.
Yeah.
All right. Absolutely. Well, let's get into this whiskey. What are you guys getting on your nosies?
Oh, it's a spicy boy.
Yeah. I do get a little bit of that butterscotch too. I get some butterscotch on it. It's nice. Spicy though, like John said too. That's one that I get for sure.
Big spicy.
A lot of those. Yeah, a lot of that like baking spices. I mean, man, yeah, it's such a rich nose.
It is. Yeah,
it smells like fresh wood too.
Yeah, it's woody. A little bit of cocoa in there in the background too. There's a lot going on right on the nose, which is really nice.
It's really, really nice. And specs on it, Lee, we're looking at just over 7 years, right? On this one.
Yeah, so when
7 year, 2 month. Yeah.
And when we picked this, it was 6 year, 11 month. So that's what I have in my sample.
Bonus months.
So we got some bonus months before it kicked up, and I was glad we were going to get this over 7 before we got it out, which was great. And then as we get into flavors, I mean, if you haven't read the back of your bottle, the highest rye I've ever had in a bourbon, and still being a bourbon, so 45% rye, matching with that 51% corn, 4% malted barley. I think that's where we got a lot of that spice, but that nose doesn't scream like him beating you over the head with some rye.
Nor does the palate for me either. I'm going to be honest. Like, I know it might even sound cliche, but it really does remind me of a very, very well done boo rye, almost like a very nice boo rye that's blended together. I get a lot of those bourbon. I get bourbon on the front end. And then on the back end, I get a little bit more of that traditional rye sweetness, actually. Not peppery for me, but I get a lot of the rye sweetness on the back. I love it.
Yeah, I thought it was fun that the palate gives me a little bit more honey and like almost like creaminess, like creme brulee. And, specifically, I think when you get your high rye bourbons, those are actually the creme brulee stuff. I think a lot of people don't ever really think of in those high rye bourbons. So I thought getting some of those sweeter, like decadent notes on the palate and finish is really fun.
Yeah, I think go ahead. Yeah, good viscosity. What I really like about these, to me, they're crushable but complex. I think that's what was unique about them. Like, you would taste kind of more maybe traditional rye bourbon mash bills with people at the same time. And I think if you appreciated this K45, you appreciate the layers of it, right? It's still got a nice roundness. I agree that mid palate really kind of changes. It brings different notes in, could really dissect a lot, but at the same time, it's very drinkable, even at 120.5 proof that this is. So just so everybody knows, we do barrel codes. In this case, it's K45, right? And that's associated with the mash bill, the distillery, and the barrel date. And then the wax color ties to that. So you'll see different wax colors that kind of translate across barrel classes. Sometimes we'll buy 20 barrels, 50 barrels, 100. We're independent bottlers, so we buy from many people. And so if you're like this profile, there's other K45s out there that we kind of sprinkled around the country. I do think it's a very different whiskey, right?
Yeah.
We put out a lot of very different whiskey. We've done it with you too. As well, right? That, I think it's very fun. It's crushable for somebody who's newer to whiskey, but it's also complex enough that it's interesting for guys like you.
Yeah, the first day I got my bottle, so I do have another bottle in California. When I got that one, I took it to a whiskey club, and man, there were some like 20, 35-year whiskeys out there, and I'll just tell you, a lot of people came back to this bourbon. Like, it was pretty incredible to see how much people wanted to come back to this, and like we're super stoked about just the flavor, and I think the complexity of the pour. So that's fun when you get whiskey guys excited about what you picked, and they're like, "Wait, how do I get this?" You're doing something right.
Nice,
absolutely.
I always can try to sometimes pull, or not even try. It just comes. Sometimes I'll pull the most random notes, and right now for me, on the mid palate, I get a sweet tart. It's like a candy sweet tart. It's very sweet, like the red one or like the blue color, and almost a little bit tart as well right before you finish it. I like this a lot. And that creme brulee note that you said, Lee, I'd get that on the front 100%. 100%. Now that you always do point it out.
It's crazy how much this is evolving into glass, because I just fresh cracked this myself because I have the bottle, thanks, Lee. And it's evolving rapidly, right? As most whiskey does, but there really so many more of those unique notes are coming out. Totally agreed. Super fun.
Yeah, and then in that finish, I'm definitely getting more, a little bit like mint. I got like cola, and some of your like what I would say like roasted nuts, working into some tannins. But I think it's a really broad base of notes on this whiskey. So it's like every step of this process, you're getting something new.
Yeah, I get like this great sort of, and maybe it's just because it was so cold this morning. Like I mentioned, it was 11 below. My brain is probably still frozen, but I get this like great wintry vibe from it too, where you get some of those like dark citrus kind of notes hanging out in there that you catch up front, and it moves through to I actually caught a little bit of that like nutty roasted nut style background too, but then it has just like a huge pop of cinnamon in the finish, which is really cool, and I love how warming it is. And overall it kind of reminds me, I don't want to say Christmas whiskey, but it's like kind of got some of those vibes to it, where you get a little bit of the like roasted nuts, you get some of that dark citrus, and then a big old pile of baking spice. It's pretty cool.
John, you ever do commercials with that like deep calming voice? Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah, I actually record meditation videos for Hayden to listen to when he goes to bed.
I believe that.
It works.
It works every night.
It's my night. I call it my nightcap. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
It's true. Nightcap meditations.
I'd love to ask you a question. I want to get off topic really quick before I forget, because I have a very bad memory. But this year, I was out and about doing some bourbon hunting, and I'd never heard of Brook Hill before, but a store was like, hey, would you like to try something? We have a few things open. And I pointed, yep, there you go. I pointed to a few things and he was like, you sure you don't want to try this? I was like, I've never heard of it. If you recommend it, yeah, let me. And he's like, oh, dude, it's like a 12-year. You never heard of this? And I was like, no. And then I read the label and I see rare character. And I was like, oh, shoot. Okay, that's what this is. All right, yeah, let's try it up. Dude, that was some of the best whiskey that I've had this year. I just want to know a little bit like, what the hell is it? It was a 12-year. I know that.
Yeah, for sure. So the thing about Brook Hill, it's an old brand that we brought back, right?
Okay.
So this was a brand started in late 1800s, died in the early 90s. They actually had a medicinal whiskey license during Prohibition. Mm-hmm. And we brought it back for the purpose of putting the best of the best barrels of rye and bourbon in it. So they're single barrels, but like they're like the 1% of the 1%, right? Yeah. And from different places, different profiles. We've gone as young as 6, as old as 19. We're going to do a 20. Prices will vary accordingly. It's been awesome. You know, like there's some really crazy releases, crazy proof points, very low yields. Some are like big, bad, bold, intense. Others are like elegant and layered, right? So it's not a one set thing. It's a quality standard. So my partner, Pablo Moy, he's like the barrel whisperer. You know, Brook Hill's his playground. The things that he finds that he thinks are just extraordinary, we put in that. Mostly we sell them to distributors to break up. They're usually kind of hard to find. We get hit up on Instagram, but hey, how do I find this? I'm like, I don't know, but good luck, man. You know what I mean?
you and everybody else, bud.
It's just how it is. But yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think the net of it is the answer. If you get the opportunity to have it, the answer should be yes. Yeah. And hopefully you feel like it was fucking worth it in whatever.
Very well said.
It was. Can I curse on this? I don't know.
Yeah.
I usually do.
But Pete, I also think that brings up just like as a non-producing brand, you are really you're developing specific profiles, and where you have room and opportunity to be creative, you're also bringing back kind of these great defunct brands to give them new life. And I think maybe if you could just go back for anybody that's new to Rare Character, I mean, how this got started as a venture, and then how it's kind of evolving. And I know, especially behind you, there's actually a really good look at a lot of that evolution too. But I know we first met just at a bar in Louisville after like a few email exchanges, but what a quick, fun journey and such a cool way, going back to K45, like what a cool way to express different profiles in different batches of single barrels too.
100%. I'll try and give you a short version. My first branded spirits is a cachaça brand. It's called Avalets right here. Right. And,
Brazilian?
Yeah, Brazilian. Yes. I understood. I was like, yes.
That was a half sip.
Wait, was it the one that numbed your mouth? I have one that numbs your mouth. Did you do the one?
No, but I know what you're talking about. So we launched that brand at a bar in New York called Milk and Honey. It was one of the bars that started it all, right? And that was 2013. 2014, I launched it in California, and I met Pablo, who's a restaurateur by trade. So he's a big collector of whiskey, agaves, like was doing barrels back in the day, has an amazing restaurant in Venice, great program. Convinced him cachaça could be delicious. We started a business relationship, became friends. And then fast forward, the world's ending 2020. This idea of independent bottling of American whiskey comes up, right? And it's done in Scotch, and it's been done for a long time, right? Some of the most iconic Macallan releases ever are not under the Macallan.
Yep.
Old Perth or whatever, right? So it was like, hey, could we do that here? And we just threw a bunch of stuff at the wall. So we ended up doing the single barrel series, what you see here with the custom label, because we're like, look, let's get our hands on great whiskey. He used to present at the table like, hey, here's my barrel, right? And it would be, I don't know, let's just pick on anybody I have here, right? Like, here we go. Hey, here's my Elijah Craig pick, right? Great whiskey, nothing bad about it. And the person be like, "Hey, that's that. I got that one at Total Wine." And you're like, "No, our name. It's right here." You know what I mean? So we were like, let's let people customize. Let's let them personalize it. That's where it started. But we always had the idea to do more. Mm-hmm. And so we revived the Fortuna brand, right? Which is another old brand. That's a Kentucky bourbon with a specific profile. We went beyond. We did Brook Hill, like we talked about. We just put out Personal, which is our first like more accessible product. So it's a 7-year 101 proof Kentucky rye, delicious, cocktailable. Like the intent is you can find it. We'll see.
Seriously.
And then some other things like the Exceptional series, right? You brought that one up, Lee. We put some of age, but different things. That one's a Kentucky malt.
That's so
really kind of unique and wild, right? So it's kind of like we celebrate the broad American whiskey category. We get our hands on things. We work from like the whiskey to what the hell are we going to do with it? And then what's awesome is people have been really supportive of what we're doing. So we can take chances and we can be like, screw it. Let's fucking try that. You know, and it'll be delicious and somebody's going to love it. And maybe not everybody does. And that's cool too. You know what I mean?
And that's really how I feel like our relationship started, which was like, we're just getting to know each other. Let's take a chance on a few things. Right. And so we started actually with the exotic wood finishing series and took a chance on a few things. I didn't even know this is our Jakira barrel. I didn't even know what Jakira was when you guys were like, it's the tree that produces the jackfruit,
right?
And
really
from Brazil, by the way.
From Brazil,
reason we got those is because I work with the barrel producer on Alvin Cachaça, so that was that tie in there.
And we had no idea, but we just said like, this sounds incredible. We want to be a part of it. Let's go. And there was really no looking back.
Thanks for joining us, man. Yeah.
I was actually going to say we also got my KBT, man, another great,
tasty, very fucking tasty, man.
I think
it's go ahead, Lee.
Well, and just speak to the collectability. I think to your point, a lot of other brands give you like a line. I know a lot of brands give you 24 characters. I don't know why it's always 24 characters where you can write what your brand is or what your theme of your bottle is. But I mean, you give people an entire artistic palette to work from, like front and center. Like, here's your image, here's your vision, here's who you are. I think it's such a fun way to make Rare Character a part of your brand, a part of this brand, right?
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I describe us lovingly as the least efficient company in American whiskey, which our ops team loves it less, but it's a lot of fun. You know what I mean? It's been an awesome ride. It's been really cool. We got a lot of really cool stuff coming. Not to inundate you guys, but Pride of Anderson County, it's a collaboration with Wild Turkey. We're going to be bringing that back out, and it's going to go a little wider in the spring. And then I don't know if you guys know this brand, Black Maple Hill. We're bringing this shit back the way it was. Kentucky, tall bottle, delicious.
I only know it because of Pablo. Like,
well, there you go.
Being out with Pablo, and Pablo was like, "Have you ever heard of this before?" No.
Bro.
All right, great. Let's open it. Let's go,
dude. Yeah. I mean, to get one of these old ones, like this is $1,000 bottle at least at this point, entry point, right? I mean, that's not what we're gonna charge $70 for the base product. And then we're going to have some higher end, age state of releases. But anyway, we get to do a lot of fun stuff and take a lot of chances, which is cool.
That's really, really cool. Now, do y'all have like a place where people can visit yet or anything? Is that in the works?
Not really. We want to do it. So our facility's in Lexington. It's not owned by us.
Okay.
And we do a lot of the space is utilized by us, but it's nothing to look at. So hopefully in the not too distant future, this thing was kind of built in the world's ending universe. I'll be honest, like this was basically a 2-man company until a year ago. We're a 4-year-old company So we've done a lot of things in 4 years.
Wow.
And it was 2 dudes selling it, myself and Pablo, up until December of last year, which is really outrageous when I think about it.
Yeah, our first pick, our first picks literally were handshake deals out of like your trunk.
Dude, trunk bar.
wow.
Love a trunk bar.
Dude, we had a great
Trunk
happy
bar is
hour,
great.
and then it was
Big
like,
trunk bar guy.
we got this. We'll take these too. I mean, even
If you're not into a trunk bar, I don't want to know you, bro.
That's right.
You know
That's
what I
right.
mean?
Seriously.
But I think that, you know, what's interesting, there's almost like a mythology behind you guys now too, because I think that it's like, where can you find Pablo or Pete at an event? And I think actually it's almost beneficial not to have a place, because that's part of the mystique of a rare character is like,
dude, it's funny. Somebody actually made a doll, like a Where's Waldo, Where's Pablo doll. This dude in San Diego owns a store, created it. It's amazing. I told him he needs to get me one. I mean, look, part of the fact that it's hard to get to us is like, there's just so much shit going on, man. It really is crazy, right? So it's not intentional. We want to answer every question, but sometimes it's hard to do it, you know?
Well, we're lucky to have you here tonight. That's for sure.
Dude,
now,
I'm excited to be here.
What's your favorite then that you've ever put out under a rare character label?
It's hard. I mean, look, I say this a lot. I'm an occasion-based drinker, right? So like, you know, Lee knows Palate Art Tequila. This is a brand that I do separate of rare character. Like if we're going out on Friday night, I might be drinking that. If I'm with a friend on Tuesday, I might be drinking a Brook Hill. Maybe I want a cocktail with her Snow. Like, to me, like we're drinking whiskey all day. Pablo and I drink white Burgundy at dinner, right? Like you can't drink the same thing all the time. So with that said, probably one of the most insane things we put out is a product called Obliteration, which was 34 bottles, 36 bottles. I don't even own one, right? Mine got hijacked. Speaking of getting stolen, I don't have it.
Oh, man.
It's a hazmat Indiana bourbon that went to Northern California. It got caught up in fires. All the other barrels were trashed. One of them had a little bit of juice. We basically put like a fucking black metal label on it, which is like, was my dream. And then put it out, and then people lost their shit, right? But it's amazingly delicious, right?
Okay.
That's a tough call out, because I think the last purchase of that was like 7,508, you know, to get it, which is, it's stupid, man. I like, nothing's worth that, right? But you know what I really like doing is the things that people don't expect, right? So you talk about like the Kentucky malt, 65 malt, 35 corn, new American oak, distilled in Kentucky, aged in Kentucky. It doesn't make sense on paper.
Yes.
Or this guy, like this TKO barrel, which is hype train, right? But it's for a reason, because it's this really bonkers mash bill of Tennessee rye that was aged in Kentucky, very high proof, 70, 25, 5. Doesn't make any sense. I'm sure most people who do what we do looked at it and were like, why would I buy that? It's crazy. So I really like showing people shit they don't think they're going to like and winning them over. Yeah. Or like all the non-rye drinkers who like, I dropped 3 ryes out of 8 pours. Yeah. They're like, dude, I love that. Fuck, I love that one. I love that. I love converting people who think they don't like something when they just maybe didn't have the right one. You know.
Well, and to that end, I mean, we also, as a compliment to this bourbon, did pick a rye. And honestly, I think the rye tastes more like a bourbon than the bourbon tastes like, you know.
Those are
like,
also very complex, very round ryes.
Yeah,
you know?
it was. So I think that really giving people something to, you know, just like raise an eyebrow to and just be like, wait, what did I just try? Like, I think that's a really fun way to explore whiskey and not being held to convention, which is actually why I love kind of celebrating the work of rare character, right? Like, this can be a thing where once you know your profile, you may just want to go whiskey hunting. And, you know, if you visit the rare character website, you can actually see what those letters mean and what the profile is and all of those things. And you may be like, that's my profile. I got to go find more of it. If you try to find more of it, usually it's like what 20 to 40 barrels. You know,
yeah,
like
it just depends on what it is, but and it's a lot of what we do is like, hey, that was awesome, and it's over. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, I'm sad too. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But we get a certain amount of things and we think they're cool. And a lot of other companies probably don't think it's worth it to spend their time to put out 40 of one thing, right? I mean, we put out 20 to 21-year-old light whiskey for $130.
That's crazy good.
Some of the
That's
is amazing.
crazy.
It's amazing.
That's a great deal, man.
Some of those yields were 1K, 12 bottles out of a barrel, right?
Are you serious? An American light whiskey?
Oh yeah, dude. It's crazy, right? But
Wow.
if you can find them, they're really good, right? So yeah, I mean, I appreciate you guys appreciating it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been reading a lot of the comments here. Somebody said all the rare character bottles I own, really, really good. So overall, and that's the thing, right? Overall, I do lots of whiskey videos all day. Rare character gets brought up a lot. Anytime that I mention the word NDP, independent bottler, right? Just similar meanings, just different terms. Rare character always comes up. Always. And everyone's like, have you tried rare character?
Well,
have you tried rare character? So,
and,
you know.
And now that you guys have had like an hour to let your whiskey breathe, any new notes you're getting?
Dude, I'm 3 more whiskeys past that whiskey at this point.
Oh.
But, you know, yeah, you guys tell me.
Well, I put mine on a rock. Totally different experience.
There you go. I believe it.
Was waiting for it. Dwayne The Rock Johnson over here.
Is that what you do every time? You put on a rock
every time. Except for Dickel. Dickel should never be on a rock, man.
Okay, interesting. All right.
No, I think that I just took my last sip, and I think that for me in the beginning, I was getting more of like the bourbon rye note, like a boo rye note, even though it's not. It's just a high rye bourbon. Now, actually, I find more of the creme brulee that you had pointed out, Lee. I'm telling you, something similar happens. I forgot what tasting it was, but you pointed out one note, rose. It was rose water. You said like a floral rose note on one of the whiskeys, in the entire night. That's all I could taste. You did it again. Like that's all I'm tasting on the back end now. On this is that creme brulee. It got a little sweeter for me as it sat there.
Yeah, it does get sweeter in the glass. From what I remember, because now I'm drinking Hearst Knoll. But
yeah, he moved on.
Dude, this is good, man. I just drank a Brook Hill rye, and now I'm having Hearst Knoll, and it's standing up. That's impressive. Anyway,
I can back that up. I got my bottle, man. That as a 7-year rye, man.
Yeah, 101 proof rye.
101 proof at like $60.
Yeah,
like all day long. Just go pick that baby up.
I'm excited to see that out. Check that out. Sweet.
Yeah.
What do you think, John? What are you thinking?
Flavor wise on the pour here?
Yep. Did it change it all for you?
I think it early on it did, but I feel like here I might have squeezed everything I can out of it. I poured it just before we went live, maybe 15 minutes ahead. So I might have caught the evolution a little bit earlier in the show. And that sort of pop of almost like a praline, like buttered pecan kind of came out a little bit. But for me, that was sort of the biggest change there. But the overall, just the spice note, really, I think was kind of the thing that really grabbed a hold of me. Like right off the bat, the very first nosing of it, I was like, oh, this is spicy. I dig this already.
That's awesome.
And then as it sort of expanded, brought in some more of the citrus and stuff, it kind of rounded out, but then still that kick of spice on the finish is, I think that's where it's at for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I see a comment that said, I've only had 2 American light whiskeys, Stranahan, Snowflake, and Westward Store Pick. Both were ass. Well, sir, that's not American light whiskey. That's American single malt. So you didn't have American light whiskey. That was American single malt, buddy.
You know what's crazy about American light whiskey at a really old age statement? The thing is, it was meant to be like a way to sell almost vodka to people, right?
Yes.
You know, like no age, 80 proof, and it's fucking garbage at that. Now, age it for way too long in a way that it wasn't meant to be, and drink it in fucking hazmat, dude.
It's like whipped cream in a glass, dude.
Bro, it's like funky Jamaican rum.
Put it away and forget about it. Yeah. Put it away.
How does 99.1 from Indiana that never left Indiana tastes like some fucking Hamden Estate Ester bomb. I don't know. I'm into it though.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
light whiskey for sure.
Yeah, just put those barrels away. Forget about them.
Well, they're already out and we're done and they're toast and we probably lost money on it, but it was fun. You know?
Hell yeah. Well, thank
good.
you all for joining us here tonight on this tasting. Huge thank you, Pete, for taking some time and answering some questions with us and being here. Really do appreciate it. And
Awesome.
Lee, real quick before we hop off, do we have a little hint for what's coming?
I mean, how much of a hint do you want? Oh man.
I guess we could drop the shebang. What's coming next month?
We will be venturing into the world of American single malt, and we will give you a one-of-a-kind single barrel where actually the entire pick was about the evolution of the barrel and what that barrel imparts on the final whiskey. So the barrel that aged our final whiskey actually aged 4 different things. It aged American single malt, it aged gin, it aged an IPA, and then went right back to aging a well-aged American single malt. So it's going to be like nothing you've ever had, and it will never be created again, just because I think it was an experiment. And like we were just talking about, they forgot about it. And once they came back to it, they were like, oh, crap, this is something really good. And we got to buy it. So, yeah, you'll enjoy something like never before and never again.
I'm really excited for next month. Thank you always for joining, John. Appreciate you being here. And we will see you guys on next month's tasting. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Cheers, fellas.
Emptied.